Full Django Reinhardt style lick over a 1-6-2-5 progression in the key of C major. A 1, 2, 3, 4, and... Hey everybody, welcome back to Swiftlessons. Rob and Talia coming to you from a little apartment in Warsaw, Poland. What are we doing here?
We're visiting some family and doing some sightseeing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country, really nice city. We also went down to Krakow, which is one of my favorite cities in the entire world. But we wanted to check in with you, give you something to practice, and something that you can kind of use to expand your horizons as a lead guitar player.
Enjoy your practice. Okay,
close look at the fretboard, getting started breaking down the chord progression that we're playing over top of. A very important jazz progression. A 1, 6, 2, 5 progression in the key of C. Okay, so that's a C major 7. I've got the 8th fret of the low E string. I've got the 9th frets of the D and G string. And my middle finger here on the B string 8th fret. Okay, for some of the more beginner level students, you might find this similar to playing an E minor bar chord shape. You're just taking the index finger and putting C in the bass. Okay, C major 7. Next we're gonna have A minor 7. This one's very simple. Grab the 5th fret of the low E string with your middle finger, and then bar with the ring finger over the D string, G string, and the B string 5th frets. Okay, the A string is muted, and also is the high E string. Okay, the same is true for the C major 7 chord. Okay, so far you have the C major 7, the 1 chord, and then over to A minor 7, the minor 6 chord. Okay, next we're going on to the 2 chord in the key of C. It's going to be a D minor 7. Okay, I've got the 5th fret of the A string, 7th fret of the D string. My bar is grabbing the G string 5th fret, so far I've got, and I'm also going to have my middle finger on the 6th fret of the B string, grabbing that minor 3rd. All right, so C major 7, A minor 7, D minor 7. Okay, and then we're going to have the 5 chord, G dominant 7, which we're going to play with a C7 chord shape, but just transpose that way your index finger is on the 8th fret. Okay, so that is going to be 10th fret A string, 9th fret of the D string, 10th fret of the G string, and 8th fret of the B string. All right, now some of you might be new to this type of chord progression and also new to jazz shapes in general. If that's the case, just take some time to get these chord shapes down. Just keep looping that progression, even if it takes you a long time to get into each position. Practice each chord separately, then put them all together. Okay, very good everybody. You've got that 1-6-2-5 progression. We're gonna be strumming it 2 beats per chord. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. And then jumping into our lick. Okay, so if you've got the chords down, just practice that rhythm. Make sure to comp it. Notice how my fingers are jumping on and off the strings to get those nice short strokes. Alright, for that 1-6-2-5 progression. Okay, if you have that down, now we're ready to jump into the lick of the week. Okay, demonstrating our lick of the week now at a very slow tempo. It should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so all those notes are coming from the C major scale. Okay, so this lick starts on the 2nd beat of the G7 chord shape. 1 and 2 and 3. All right, and right there, that's when the C major 7 chord is going to come back in on the progression. Okay, so it's starting on the tail end of the progression, then bringing you in to the 1st chord of the progression. Okay, so that began with the 9th fret of the G string going up to 10, then 8th fret of the B, and then to the 12th fret of the high E string. a transition lick, playing through the G7, going to the C major 7. All right, then we're gonna go down to the 7th fret of the high E string. Sometimes I like to do a little slide away. All right, then I'm gonna go to the 10th fret of the high E string, then to the tonic, 8th fret of the high E string, C. It's a good place to stop and practice. All right, then we're gonna have, all right, that was the 9th fret of the G string, 8th fret B, up to 12, and then to 10. So far you have. All right, again, another great place to stop and practice. Notice how I'm letting it bounce a little bit rhythmically. Okay, now on to kind of the second half of the lick where it gets a little bit more notey. Okay, real slow. Let's get this into your ear first before you try to learn it. Okay, so we're on the 8th fret of the high E string. We're going 8 up to 10, pulling back off, and then sliding down a half step. Okay, without the fancy stuff, it's just 8, 10, 8, 7. All right, then we're gonna go to the 8th fret of the B string and 10th fret of the G string. You add those notes in and we've got it. All right, one more time. All right, then go to the 8th fret of the B string. All right, then very simple, we're gonna end the lick on the G string. 7, 10, slide up to 9 with the middle finger and vibrato. Okay, you put that entire final phrase together and we have. Okay, you add it in with the rest of the lick and we have. A beautiful phrase that takes you throughout that entire 1, 6, 2, 5 progression. Okay, very good everybody. Let's practice everything that you learned. We're gonna play through the progression, then we're gonna play through the lick nice and slow. A 1, 2, 3, 4, and C, A minor, D minor, and G. 2, 3, let's do it again, ready? And C, A minor, D minor, and G, and 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Just like that. All right, friends, thanks so much for checking out this lesson. Hope you found it useful. Things will be a little slow for the next few days as we finish up this trip, but I'll be back to Philadelphia very soon, and I'll have tons of new song tutorials, lead lessons, rhythm lessons, music theory coming at you. So until next time, this is Rob from Warsaw, Poland, saying happy picking.